Imagine waking up, checking your phone like any loyal Bills fan, and suddenly, boom, a wave of news hits you, big, bold, and full of implications. One piece changes how we see our Super Bowl chances. Another gives new hope to a forgotten wide receiver. And then there's something unusual in the way Sean McDermott sees our newest offensive weapons. But none of that compares to the future projections that just exploded out of the ESPN war room. Don't blink. Because what's happening now could define the destiny of the Buffalo Bills for years to come. For years, Bills fans have dreamed, hoped, and suffered. We've watched greatness in the regular season, only to be met with heartbreak. In January, no Super Bowl title, not even a trip since 1993. But now, ESPN just dropped a bombshell in their latest Football Power Index. According to Seth Walder's FPI projection, Buffalo is featured in 3 of the 10 most likely Super Bowl 60 matchups. And even more stunning, we're in 2 of the top 4. Third most likely, Bills versus Eagles. Fourth, Bills versus Lions. Can you imagine? Josh Allen against Jalen Hurts in a high-stakes shootout. Or a blue-collar battle between Buffalo and Detroit. 2 fan bases starving for a title. And here's the thing. Unlike the past, these aren't just fan fantasies. This time, the numbers, real predictive analytics, are finally backing us. But wait. There's more behind the curtain. While the spotlight often shines on Allen and Diggs, there's another name quietly emerging from the shadows: Curtis Samuel. The receiver who once racked up over 1,000 scrimmage yards with Joe Brady in Carolina has had a frustrating start in Buffalo. Injuries plagued him last year, from a turf toe to shoulder issues, derailing his adaptation to the offense. But now, according to coach Sean McDermott, that rhythm is returning. In fact, Samuel ended last season with touchdowns in 2 playoff games, including one against the Chiefs. That's not a fluke. That's a sign. Entering year 2 in this system, he's healthier, sharper, and finally synced with Josh Allen. Could Curtis Samuel become the secret weapon in Buffalo's playoff push? While the offense gains firepower, Buffalo's front office is already planning for the next defensive era. After selecting C.B. Maxwell Hairston in the first round of the 2025 draft and doubling down on defense, analysts now believe the Bills may target yet another shutdown corner in 2026, Jermod McCoy out of Tennessee. McCoy, who transferred from Oregon State, racked up 44 tackles, 9 pass breakups, and 4 interceptions in 2024. Standing at 6 feet, nearly 200 pounds, this physical, high IQ defender could become the successor to Tre'Davious White or Dane Jackson, both free agents in 2026. The message from Buffalo is loud and clear. Defense isn't just about now, it's about the next decade. Let's talk about 2 names. You'll hear a lot in camp: Joshua Palmer and Elijah Moore. While the national media may be underwhelmed by these WR signings, Coach McDermott, he's all in. Palmer, formerly of the Chargers, brings versatility and consistency. Moore, the explosive speedster once drafted by the Jets, had a solid OTA debut and already seems to be building chemistry with Josh Allen. McDermott believes their different skill sets can be molded into Buffalo's offensive identity. The plan isn't to force them into the system, it's to build the system around their strengths. That's not just smart coaching, that's evolution. Here's the truth. The Bills have been chasing a Super Bowl for decades. And in every year of the Josh Allen era, there's been hype, but also heartbreak. What's different in 2025? This time, the foundation feels deeper. ESPN's analytics support us. Players like Curtis Samuel and Elijah Moore are no longer question marks. They're part of the solution. The defense is getting younger, faster, and more aggressive. And Josh Allen? Fresh off an MVP caliber season and hungrier than ever. This isn't just another offseason, it's a reconstruction of identity. The numbers might suggest a high probability of success, but what's happening behind the scenes at One Bills Drive tells an even more compelling story. It's not just about stats, it's about intentionality. In years past, Buffalo's roster moves sometimes felt reactionary, patching holes, hoping talent alone would carry them through. But this offseason, every decision seems part of a larger puzzle. Drafting heavy on defense, prioritizing WRs with complementary traits, giving Joe Brady the flexibility to mold the offense to his style, not force players into predetermined molds. From ownership down to the coaching staff, there's a palpable sense of urgency, but also belief. For the first time in a long time, it doesn't feel like the Bills are chasing others. It feels like they're setting their own path. Now let's talk about the name that towers over this franchise, Josh Allen. Allen has already redefined what it means to be a quarterback in Buffalo. From his fearless runs to his cannon arm, he's brought the Bills back to national relevance. But here's what sets this season apart. Allen is no longer just a superstar. He's entering the phase of his career where legacies are defined by championships. He knows it. The coaching staff knows it. And the front office is responding by putting the pieces in place to elevate, not overburden, him. Last season's playoff heartbreak against the Chiefs? That wasn't just another loss. It was the final straw. It was the game that made this organization realize talent isn't enough. Depth, scheme flexibility, and health must align for a true title run. And in 2025, that alignment finally seems possible. Here's a tough truth. The biggest opponent the Buffalo Bills face isn't just Kansas City. It isn't Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson. It's history. 4 Super Bowl losses in the 90s. Heartbreak after heartbreak in the modern era. An entire fan base conditioned to brace for pain, even in the best of times. But what if 2025 is the year that narrative finally shatters? With young corners emerging, speed injected into the offense, and Allen playing like a man possessed, the Bills aren't just contenders, they're on a collision course with destiny. That's what makes this moment so special. Because if this team can rise above the shadows of its past, we won't just remember this season for the wins. We'll remember it as the moment Buffalo rewrote its identity. So now it's your turn, Bills Mafia. Do you believe this is the team that finally breaks through? Do you feel this shift, not just on the field, but in the energy of the organization? And most importantly, if we do reach Super Bowl 60, who do you want to face? The revenge arc versus the Eagles? Or a gritty showdown against the Lions? Drop your answers in the comments, hit that subscribe button, and don't miss the next update. Because the road to redemption is heating up, and the Buffalo Bills are right in the driver's seat.